لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهد له فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ثم أما بعد يا عباد الله. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praising Him and magnifying Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evilness and the consequences of our own actions. Whomsoever Allah guides, there is none that can guide. And whomsoever Allah leads astray, there is no guidance for this person. I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah. He is alone without any partners. And I bear witness that the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam is his servant and his messenger. To proceed, truly the best speech is the book of Allah. And the best guidance is the guidance of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Of following this illustrious Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, the messenger that was sent to all mankind, the one who we've been instructed to follow, the one who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted Jannah, and as well as his companions, Ridwanullahu alayhim. Today we want to mention inshallah ta'ala the benefits and the fruits of Jannah. Because here in this dunya, there is struggle, there is sicknesses, and vices, and all kinds of harm and afflictions. But in Jannah, there's no sickness, there's no affliction, there's no getting evicted from your homes. In Jannah, there's forever bliss and forever enjoyment. So today, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we want to mention a benefit with regards to this affair of Jannah. Allah tells us about the people of paradise and the eternal delights they will experience, and as well as the comprehensive favors that they have been given. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه متكئين فيها على الأرائك. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, reclining therein on raised couches. Reclining therein on raised couches. Not the couches of this dunya, not the fabric of this dunya, but the couch of Jannah, the couches of Jannah that no eye has ever seen, no ear has ever heard. This already has been discussed, as Ibn Kathir rahimahullah has mentioned in his tafsir, with regards to this verse. Reclining on couches. It is mentioned reclining on the elbows, or sitting down, or cross-legged, or being firmly seated. We have also mentioned, as it is mentioned, al-ara'ik. Al-ara'ik are couches beneath curtains or canopies. And this is something that the Muslims should be striving for. Al-Jannah ya ayyuhan nas. When we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Jannah, we ask Him for the highest level of Jannah. Al-Jannatul Firdaus al-A'la. So due to the vices and the struggle and the turmoil that we are faced with on a day-to-day basis, that the Muslim, we should live our lives worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fearing Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we know that Allah has promised the believer Al-Jannah. Al-Jannah ya ayyuhan nas. Sari'u ila al-maghfiratun min rabbikum. Strive. Sari'u, rush to the forgiveness of your Lord. Strive to the forgiveness of your Lord. وقال جل وعلا لا يرونها فيها شمسا ولا زمهريرا. They will see there neither the excessive heat. They will see nor the excessive heat, nor the excessiveness of the bitter of the cold. Meaning there will be no disturbing heat with them. Unlike today, in today's time, during the summertime, where it is extremely hot, and in the cold, it is extremely cold. But in Jannah, ya ayyuhan nas, we will forever experience this na'im, this bliss that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has for His servants. But it is upon the Muslim to strive. It is upon the Muslim to strive. It is upon the Muslim to work. وقال سبحانه وتعالى ودانية عليهم ظلالها ودانية عليهم ظلالها or ظلالها, and the shade thereof is close upon them, meaning the branches will be close to them. وذللت قطوفها تذليلا, and the bunches or mother and the bunches of fruit thereof will hang low to their reach. It will be at their disposal. The bunches of fruit, whatever it is that you imagine, it will be brought near to you. Unlike the toil, the struggleness, and the sickness of this dunya is forever fading away from the believer. That this dunya ma'un and ma'un illa ma fiha. That this dunya, it is fleeing from us, and individuals are chasing the dunya. We should be chasing this Jannah by doing righteous good deeds, by worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Illa tamutunna wala tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun, of worshiping Him and striving for perfection, striving for the hereafter. Just like we strive and we get up to go to work, we make sure that we punch the clock, we make sure we are there on time, we make sure of all of the things that we have to do in the dunya, we make sure that we do them. We put off that which Allah has commanded. Oh, I have to go to my doctor's appointment. Oh, I have to go to work. Oh, I have to go there and go there. But we put off the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His obedience, it comes last. It comes first in every facet of our life. If we want the pleasure of Allah, the rahmah of Allah, it is upon the Muslim to obey the commandments of Allah subhanahu. And the bunches of fruit thereof will hang low within their reach. Meaning, whenever he attempts to get the fruit or to get any fruit, it comes near to him and it comes down from his highest places. Branches of it. And his hairs are obeys. And his hairs and obeys. This is as an ayat as it comes in the Quran. And thus, and the fruits of the gardens will be brought near at hand. The fruits of Jannah. The fruits, the bliss of Jannah, the happiness of Jannah. This is not our home, ya ayyuhan nas. This is not our home. The home for us is Jannah. وَمَاذَا Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, the fruits and bunches whereof will be low and near at hand. As the Mufassirin explain, they said, وَذُلِّلَتْ فُطُولُهَا وَذُلِّلَتْ فُطُوفُهَا تَدْلِيلًا. They said, and the bunches of fruit thereof will hang low. They said this means, if it stands, it will rise with an equal arm's length, or it will stand in the amount of the equal of the amount. If he sits, it will sit low. It will sit lower itself for him, meaning the fruits and everything that the person desire will be at his disposal. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this favor of Jannah, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the favor of seeing him on Yawm al-Qiyamah, of seeing the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر الله لي ولكم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. وبعد يا أيها الناس, as we take a look at a famous scholar and author of many books of this affair of Jannah, and it is called Al-Hadi Al-Arwah إلى البلاد الأفراح by Ibn al-Jawzi, Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah. He mentions this affair of Jannah. He said, if you ask about its ground, if you ask about the ground of Jannah and its fruits, then it is of musk and saffron. And if you ask about its roof, then it is the throne of the most merciful. And if you ask about its rocks, then there are pearls and jewels. And if you ask about its buildings, then they are made of bricks of gold and silver. And if you ask about these trees, the trees of Jannah, if you ask about the trees of Jannah, then it does not contain a single tree, except that its trunk is made of gold and silver. And if you ask about its fruits, then they are softer than butter and sweeter than honey. And if you ask about them, and if you ask about its leaves, the leaves of Jannah, then they are softer than the softest of cloth. And if you ask about its rivers, then there are rivers of milk whose taste does not change, unlike the milk of this dunya, that the milk it gets sour. Unlike the wine and the color of this dunya, there's no intoxicants of this affair of the wine of Jannah, unlike the intoxicants of today. And if you ask about its rivers, then there are rivers of milk whose taste does not change, and rivers of wine that is delicious to those who drink it, and the rivers of honey that is pure, and rivers of water that is fresh. And I'm mentioning to you this affair so that we can strive and work for Jannah. That the Jannah is not handed to you. The Jannah, the paradise, is not handed to you. That we have to strive and work for Jannah. We have to strive and work for Jannah. وَمَاذَا Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he says, and if you ask about their food, the food of paradise, then it is fruits, whatever they choose, whatever they will choose, and whatever meat from the birds that they desire. And if you ask about their drink, then it is a drink of tasneem and ginger and kafur. So this affair of Jannah is something that is expensive. This is something that is expensive. And how do we get there? By putting in the work. By putting in the work. And most importantly, the istighfar. Tubu ila Allah, ayyuhal mu'minun. By repenting to Allah, all servants of Allah. By fasting, optional prayers. By praying, optional salawat. By giving in charity and striving and struggling to leave off of that, with that which Allah has commanded us to leave off, and to do that which Allah has commanded us to do. This Jannah, it is waiting for us. These splendids and all of the things that Allah has waiting for us in Jannah. But it is only waiting for those who do the work. Those who put in the work. You can't expect anything if you don't put in the work. You ain't do anything to get it. You didn't do anything to earn it. You didn't do anything, you didn't strive for it. Then he mentions Ibn al-Qayyim. And if you ask about the faces of the inhabitants of their beauty, meaning the people of paradise, then they are like the images of the moon. And if you ask about their clothing, the clothing of the people of paradise, then they are like the images, or they are like the finest silk, laid out in the highest of levels. Unlike today, that it is haram for the Muslim to wear silk. Today, it is haram for the Muslim to wear gold. But on this day of Jannah, the Muslim will have the pleasure of silk and gold and silver and all of the na'im that Allah has for the servants. And if you ask about their servants, the servants of Jannah, they are young boys of everlasting youth who resemble scattered pearls. They resemble the scattered pearls. And if you ask about their brides, their wives, the wives of Jannah, subhanAllah, no, you guys are looking for that. The wives of Jannah. Allahu Akbar. Then they are young, full-breasted, and have had the liquid of youth flow through their limbs. There's no age limit. There's no sickness in Jannah. There's no getting kicked out in Jannah. That the Jannah is wide and expansive. This is what we should be looking for. become like this dunya, that this dunya is not worth. It has no value to it, other than you working, striving and working and striving and hard work and labor and tiredness and sleeplessness. On some occasions we cannot sleep. Many of us experience this. Life, struggle situations. But in Jannah, there's no struggling. There's no, oh, I'm just getting by. There's none of these things that we are faced with in the dunya. But today, and we have to put in the work. Today we have to strive. Today we have to be better servants than we were yesterday. We have to be better servants than we were yesterday. And strive our utmost to do that which is pleasing to Allah Azza wa Jalla. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Jannah and Jannatul Firdaus al-A'la. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by his names and Asma' al-Husna, by his names, his beautiful names and his attributes, to give us that which is in store for us. But like I said, we have to put in the work. أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وأقيم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا. Make sure that the lines are straight. Make sure that your line is straight, inshallah. استووا تراصوا. Fill in the gaps. Don't leave any room for the shaitan. استووا. Try your best to fill the gaps in. You know we have limited space.